You're weak, feminine, and people tell you look 12 years old. This was me around 2 years ago. I was 13, 14 years old. I looked feminine, and I looked like I was probably like 10 or 11 years old, honestly. Maybe even younger than that. I looked like a little boy, not even a young man. And this is very, very common in our world today. But why is this? Every generation that comes every year, even in school, I hear it and I see it, and everyone does. Each generation looks younger and younger, but why is this? I'm here to tell you that the reason why men look younger, the reason why men look much more feminine, weaker, less masculine, is due to an easy and comfortable life. With a lack of discipline and with their parents handing everything down to these kids, it's obvious that they're going to become weaker mentally as well as physically. And I can tell you this because you can see it in every single kid nowadays. Boys don't look very masculine. Even back then, they didn't have like tremendous amount of muscle, but you could see that they had some muscle and they weren't as obese as today. However, nowadays, young men, they're either skinny or skinny fat with absolutely no muscle. And this goes, like I said, they have become weak physically as well as mentally. Literally just think about it. Depression is so fucking common today. And why is this? How does that make any sense? We live in a world, at least in first world countries, we live in worlds in which wars are not common. There's literally fucking people in other countries that got their fucking house blown to pieces. And then little kids over here in first world countries want to come here and tell us that, oh no, I need a therapist because my girlfriend just broke up with me. They're fucking pussies. Like, how are you gonna tell me that you need a fucking therapist when there's people over there who got their house, their fucking family blown to pieces, and they're still working every single day so that they can one day buy a new pair of sandals? This is the problem with so many men today. This is the reason why so many girls say that there's no good men today. Because men lack discipline. They haven't suffered in their life. They haven't gone through pain or discomfort. Because discomfort is what creates a man. Pain and discomfort, physically as well as mentally. Back then, men were forced into discomfort, mentally as well as physically. They had to take responsibilities. They had to lift heavy things. They had to go to war. They actually had a purpose in their life. So obviously their appearance, their physique reflects this. The reason why men look so much younger today is because it's simply a reflection. Their appearance is simply a reflection of how easy and comfortable their life is. Of course, someone that just sits around all day, plays video games, watches porn, eats junk food is gonna have a soft looking body, a softer looking face. A lot of people like to cope and be like, oh no, it's okay to be weak because if I say that I'm weak and everyone else is weak, then that'll make me feel better because I don't want to stop eating donuts. It's okay to be weak. Shut the fuck up. No, it is not okay to be weak. It's okay to be weak, but it's not okay to stay weak. And as much as many people would like to argue with me, the science is there. The diet is there. Our diets are much, much softer. Like, we eat so much more junk food, and we can see this in how men's facial structure is a lot softer and less refined and square as the men back then. And this is why so many men look weak, submissive, they're feminine, and how you can see this in their facial structure, their bodies, their mind. And I say this because obviously a man who had to work hard, who had actually had responsibilities, who actually had to provide and protect his family, of course these men had higher testosterone, and therefore they looked and appeared and acted and they were more masculine and they looked more older. A lot more older. If you want to become more masculine, just like a real man, then you must learn to delay gratification. Put yourself through discomfort. Step outside of your comfort zone. Sacrifice the small pleasures that you can have today for a much better tomorrow. This is how I was able to take myself from looking like this to this. Because just imagine that you actually started to delay gratification. You set aside all the video games, porn, junk food, social media and you actually use your time to becoming more masculine, to actually having a purpose. Because as much as many people like to say that it's okay to be weak, it is not. Because life gets harder, and whenever you give a kid everything by hand, when they get older and life actually hits them, they're too weak, so they become depressed, and they need their mom and their dad to hold their hand. Just imagine how good life could be if you only delayed gratification for your future self. You put in the work, you looked in the mirror, and then you started seeing progress. You started becoming, you looked more masculine. You started mewing, so your face started to look sharper. You lost some body fat, and then all of a sudden life is amazing, and you get a girlfriend and she loves you. However, most men will just click away. They'll get kind of motivated, but they'll change absolutely nothing. They continue with their instant gratification because it's so much easier because you might be watching this and it might seem and it might sound insignificant. However, the choices they do make today, they will determine the life they have tomorrow, and it will catch up to you. So choose if you want to look like a little boy or grow into a real man, and do it for your future self.